for a long time, this movie all through production was called Untitled Montana Story because we actually didn't have a title for it. And we
that was just laziness. It wasn't like
okay, good to clarify that.
and it was in post that we realized actually Montana Story sort of really encapsulated what it was about.
Aaron?
Just want to see him one more time.
7 years ago, she ran away from him.
How is it that I'm feeling pity for him right now? I think I should go.
You just got here.
No, this is better.
Stay the night at least.
I tried finding her, but you know she didn't want to be found.
Hey, it's Jim Alexander with Real Talk. I'm glad you guys are together. Now I can ask the hard-pressing questions to one location. I was thinking, was there any talk when you guys were coming up with this script of like Wyoming story, maybe like a South Dakota story, a Texas story, or was this always Montana from the start? Could we have placed these characters in another mountainous kind of town or, a state in a sense?
I think you could, but we originally thought of Montana. That was the first place we thought of. But we did talk, Montana has a very strong winter, as you probably know.
And wind also apparently too.
We knew that if we got delayed at all, we weren't going to be able to shoot it in Montana, but we didn't get delayed, and so we were able to. We'd never been to Montana. We grew up in California, spent a lot of time in the Central Valley and in the Sierra Nevada mountains, and some of the ideas for this story sort of came from other things we had talked about in the past. But Montana, the more we looked online, the more we searched around about it, and the kind of, in the biggest sense, romantic appeal and seduction that Montana as a place has on our imaginations, and I think on the American imagination. For a long time, this movie all through production was called Untitled Montana Story because we actually didn't have a title for it. And
that was just laziness. It wasn't like
okay, good to clarify that.
and it was in post that we realized actually Montana Story sort of really encapsulated what it was about, because of the kind of bigger way that it has a pull on our imagination.
Makes sense now. Okay, it's kind of simple in that way too, but I overthought it maybe too. Maybe I was overthinking too. Like I kept thinking, did Cal pull the plug? Like I was debating that with myself. Did that happen, or just the miracle of life kind of happened ironically at that time? Is there a right or wrong answer, or am I missing something?
We're going to leave that for you.
Okay, open to interpretation. Okay, open to interpretation, right? But did you guys kind of plan it too, that it could be sort of open to interpretation that way, or was there one set way that you felt went?
We have a way that we played it.
Yeah, we definitely played it one way.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe I'm overthinking it again, but in that way, I give myself more options, right? What could have happened? I got to ask you guys also this. Is it me, or I found Ace to be one of the most important characters in this film? I just kept on looking back, like he was a vessel to everyone. And without Ace, I don't know how this story kind of goes, or this movie comes together and these characters really come together. Is he as important and like the most central character as I'm thinking he is?
Thank you for saying that. And Gilbert Orr is such a lovely actor. We lucked out working with him, because that's a character that really needed a certain kind of countenance and a certain kind of like empathy, because he doesn't do a lot. His job really is to
be support. I don't know if you've had a relative or anyone have to go through hospice, but
I did. My dad went, and my sister is a nurse, took care of him through it at home too. It was very relatable to me too, watching this. So it kind of like felt real to me, at least in that way.
I'll tell you, this is a little overly personal, but my father passed away in March of 2021. So while we were cutting this movie, and so he too went through that kind of process. And I was, he was living in Las Vegas, and I flew out to be with him. And it was interesting to see how similar the hospice nurses were, male and female, to the character of Ace that we wrote. And it was kind of comforting in a way.
Wow. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Well, I'm glad you guys shared that story. Felt personal to me in that way too, you know, and it's I like deep movies like that. So keep on working together as you guys done and more new stories. Maybe we'll get a Wyoming story next time.
All
All right, we'll work on that one. Yeah.
Thank you, fellas.
Thank you.
Nice talking.
Won't you release